with the modes of material nature. Modes of material nature, known as guna. Guna means, there's no exact English translation, so Srila Prabhupada would call it the mode of nature. So what is guna? Can you describe its mass? Does it have a sound, a taste, a touch? Does it have a shape? It has none of those things, yet it has such profound influence on each and every one of our lives. And we experience that every day. Sattva-gun means when we feel peaceful, satisfied, progressive, Krishna conscious. Rajagun means when we're filled with hankering and desire and want to be the best. Do what I say, I'm the boss, buckle down, my way or the highway. This is Rajagun. And Tamagun is when we feel lazy, unhappy, lethargic, we just want to sleep, forget about everything, crawl into a hole. This is Tamagun. And all the gunas are in competition. Sometimes mode of goodness overcomes the mode of passion and ignorance. Sometimes mode of passion overcomes goodness and ignorance. Sometimes ignorance overcomes passion and goodness. Always in competition. Don't we experience that? Some days you wake up and you feel happy, satisfied. Life is good. I'm happy. Things are going my way. And the very next day you may wake up and you feel, my life. Why me? Why is this happening to me? Why I feel like this? Why am I the recipient of such disastrous consequence? Nothing changed. You're the same person. It's just a different day. This is called the play of the modes of material nature. They drag us because we identify ourselves with this material world. We identify ourselves with our mind. In the Bhagavad Gita, in the 7th chapter, Krishna says, Bhumera panalo vayukam mano evacha ahankara ityame benam prakritir ashtara aparayamitasthanyam prakritim vidyame param jiva buddha mahabaho yayedam daryate jagat. 2 verses side by side explain what is this world. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intellect, ego. This is the material world. Gross matter and subtle matter. Buddhi mana hankar means subtle matter. You can't see it, you can't touch it, you can't taste it, but it exists. Everybody has a mind. Everybody has intellect. Everybody has a sense of ego, I amness, that I exist. This is subtle matter. Gross matter means this body. Blood and bones and skin and fat and hair, brain, heart, lungs, intestines, kidney, pancreas, stomach. We all have those things, yes? Heart is beating. Dum, 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 dum. One day it stops. We have control over that? Not much. This is the material world. But beyond subtle matter, buddhi, mana, hankar, gross matter, our material, blood, skin, hair, and fat. Beyond that, gross and subtle matter is the self. Apariyamitasthanyam prakritim vidime param. Krishna said, this is you, the Atma, the self. How many of you have a soul? Raise your hand. How many of you have a soul? Everybody has a soul. Is there anyone that doesn't have a soul? No, nobody has a soul. You don't have a soul. You are the soul. Am I right? We are the soul. But because of our conditioning, due to the influence of the modes of material nature, we think, I am the body and I have a soul. Spiritual life means, I am the soul and I have a body. I'm embodied by the result of my past activities, my karma fall. I received a body. But we're not the body, we're not the mind, we're the Atma. And Krishna explains in this chapter, Urdhamulam adakshakam ashrutam paragyam chandansi yastaparnani yastam vedasavi. No. Urdhamulam, what is that? I'm forgetting the shloka. Satyam vajastama iti guna prakriti sambhava nibadnanti mahabaho yedam daya chejika. That we've fallen into this world under the influence of material nature. Like rain. Rain falls from the sky, pure distilled water. But when it touches the ground, it becomes polluted, it becomes muddy because of its contact with the ground. So Atma by nature is pure, has no influence of material nature. But coming into the material world, falling under the influence of Krishna's Maya, who says, Mama Maya Duratyaya, that my Maya is insurmountable. The living being assumes a particular identity. That I am tall, short, skinny, fat, old, young, black, white, yellow, brown, male, female, smart, dumb, weak, strong, happy, sad. Thousands of different designations we assume by contact with the material world. These are called, in the Sanskrit language, upadi. Upadi means designations. And the first proposition of spiritual life is sarvupadi vinirmuktam tatparatena nirmalam vishikena vishikesha sevanam bhaktir uchyate. What is bhakti? The first proposition is to free oneself from upadi, become upadi shunya, to have no identification with body, gross body and subtle mind. But due to the influence of gunas, the modes of material nature, we identify and we're dragged life after life in this material world. So the real purpose of life is to become free from the influence of the modes of material nature. Because as long as we're under their control, spiritual life is very difficult. So there's a process to become free from the influence of the modes of material nature. And that is to associate with that which is pure spirit, pure transcendence. And the easiest way to associate with that transcendence is the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. This process alone can help us in this world. People speak of yoga, of karma, of jnana. It can help to some extent, but it can't liberate you from this material world. Because this chanting of the holy name of the Lord is the process of self-realization given directly by the Lord Himself, who appeared in the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Krishna Varnam Tisha Krishnang Sangopam Gashta Parshadam Jagya Sankirtana Praya Yajantihi Samedasa. That Lord appeared chanting His own name. Krishna Varnam means two things. Krishna Varna means the two syllables Krishna. That means Varna, the characteristics, the category of Krishna. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And He came to give this process, Jagyai Sankirtana Prayar, Yajantihi Sumedasa. That persons who are intelligent take to this process of vibrating the holy name, so important that God Himself came to introduce the process. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't only vibrate the holy name, chant the holy name Himself, participate in Harinam Sankirtan, but He practiced it Himself and spread it all over the world. Because this is the process of self-realization as described. Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Panashanam Pranamo Dukkha Samanastam Namami Harim Pranam. The very last verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Purana, Mahapurana, 18,000 verses. The last verse says this, Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Panashanam. This is the most auspicious thing. The end of the book is the summary of everything else you've already read, right? The end of the book is the essence of the book. So this is the last verse of 18,000 verses in Srimad Bhagavatam. That the chanting of the holy name of the Lord is the process of self-realization. Sarva Papa Pranashanam. In the 6th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, there's a nice story of a Jamil. You've heard of a Jamil? Maybe you've heard? It's a very beautiful Leela with a Jamil and the Yamadutas and the Vishnu Dutas. And what happens? A Jamil was very, very sinful man. So at the time of his death, the Yamadutas appeared on the scene. Yamadutas are not preposition, it's not a myth, a fairy tale. It is a fact. I have a friend that used to work in a hospice. You know what hospice is? Hospice is where people go to die. The doctor says, "I'm sorry, sir, but you have a month to live." So they go to hospice where they can die comfortably. But because of their previous sinful activities, they have not always a very comfortable situation. In the nursing schools in America, they teach this experience that people have living in hospice, the last moment of their life. It's called terminal restlessness. When Yamadutas come to drag the soul from their body. And my friend experienced witnessed people becoming terminally restless. And what do? They give you a big shot of morphine to make you practically dead, to dull your mind, to dull the experience, to remove the fear of seeing Yamadutas. All of this is described graphically in 3rd canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, part 4. What is the experience of a person leaving their body? So Jamil was born in a very pious family, Brahmin family, dutiful son, devotee of the Lord, worshipper of the Lord, pujari, Brahmin. Yet he fell into abject, sinful life. He became a dacoit, he was a robber, a murderer. Practically there was no sin that he didn't commit. So at the end of his life, Yamadutas came for him. Yet there was one very wonderful thing about his life, that he named his youngest son Narayan. Right? Narayan. So he was always speaking to his son, Narayan, have you eaten lunch? Narayan, have you done your homework? Narayan, time to come home? Narayan, time to sleep. He's chanting Narayan, 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 Narayan. In spite of his sinful life, his sins are being removed by the chanting of the holy name. So at the time of his death, when the Yamadutas came, they're very fearsome looking guys. They're not good looking guys, big teeth and hair and very fearsome people coming to drag him from his body. He became very frightened and he called out, Narayan! Vishnu Dutas came. Yamadutas were there to drag him. Vishnu Dutas came, the servants of Lord Narayan came to take him to Vaikuntha. And the Vishnu Dutas forbade the Yamadutas, you can't take him because he is sinless. He has chanted the holy name of the Lord. And the Yamadutas said, what do you mean? We have a whole list of the sins he's committed. Practically endless list of the sins this man has committed. How can you say that he is sinless? The Vishnu Duta said, yes, he is sinless. Then one shloka comes in Bhagavatam, Sanketyam Parihasyam Va, Stovam Helanam Evava, Vaikuntha Nama Yatadana. He said that this person has chanted, therefore, what is the power of name? Sanketyam means, like Ajamil did. He chanted the name of the Lord. He wasn't calling for the Lord, he's calling for his son. But his tongue has touched the holy name of the Lord. This is Sanketyam. I saw one hippie guy in the park. He had named his dog Krishna. So he's calling his dog, hey, Krishna, come. Krishna, sit. Krishna. He means his dog, but his tongue has touched the holy name. This is Sanketyam. Parihasyam means to chant the holy name in jest, as a joke. In the early days of ISKCON, in the early 70s, on the streets of major cities all over the world, people would see these strange-looking, bald-headed fellows singing something and banging on drum. I think this is very funny. And we pass out mantra card. It said, Hare Krishna. Please chant Hare Krishna and be happy. So they'd read it H-A-R-E, hare, like Khargosh. So, oh, rabbit? Very funny, very funny. And they say, hare, no, hare, they're not hare Krishnas, they're hairless Krishnas. Taklawala. Hairless Krishnas. Ha 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 ha, hairless Krishna, hairless Krishna. Their tongue has touched Krishna. This is parihasya. Stova means for musical entertainment. George Harrison was a musician, very famous musician, and very beloved to Srila Prabhupada also. He did amazing service. His cooperation with the devotees spread the chanting of the holy name all over Europe. Millions of people were singing Hare Krishna Maha Mantra because of George Harrison. He was very blessed by Srila Prabhupada. So devotees would tell him, George, when will you get initiated? When will you get initiated, George? You're very dear to Prabhupada, you're chanting Hare Krishna, you should be initiated. So George said, I am initiated, and I have a spiritual name also. George, Hari's son. So he's a musician, his business is to make music and sell it and prosper. And in the history of musicians, practically speaking, there was no greater musician than George Harrison and the Beatles, world's most famous rock and roll group. So this is Stobam, chanting the holy name for musical entertainment, to make money. But chanting, my sweet Lord, I really want to be with you, I really bit so hard, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. They're singing the song to make music, to make money. But their tongue has touched Krishna. Asheshaga haram vidu. All remnants of sinful life are destroyed by this chanting. And the last essence is that one should not chant inattentively. Sankirtan parihastovam helanam. Helanam means inattentive chanting. And this is the challenge of japa, is to be attentive to Krishna. Because when we vibrate Krishna's name, Krishna is directly present in the form of his name. Kata Upanishad says, Nama Chintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddho Nitya Mukto Vinatam Nama Namino. The name of Krishna is Krishna. Same. Exactly. Vinatam, Nama, Nam and Nami. Exactly the same. So when we vibrate the sound of Krishna, Krishna is personally present. Is that possible, vibrating any other sound? If you are hungry, can you vibrate the name of some delicious food? Rasmalai, 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 Malai, Rasmalai, Rasmalai. Pani Puri, Pani Puri, Puri Puri, Pani Pani, Pani Puri, Pani Puri, Pani Puri. The sound Pani Puri, the sound Rasmalai is not delicious food. It describes delicious food, but delicious food is not present within the sound. But God is perfectly present in sound, Shabda Brahman. So when we chant, we should be attentive to Krishna. Because you can't think of Krishna while you're thinking of something else. You can't hear Hare Krishna Maha Mantra if you're thinking something else. So japa and kirtan is actually mental exercise. Mantra yoga, to bring our mind to the sound of God's name, to be present, to be mentally present with God in the form of his name. But we think so many other things come to our mind when we're chanting. Thousands of things come to our mind when we're chanting. Politics, what's happening in the world, money, relationships, health. Thousands of things besides Krishna come to our mind when we're chanting. So mantra yoga, to bring the mind to Krishna. And this is necessary. By practice, it is necessary. For example, if Sri Narendra Modi came through the door, what would we say? Hey, Narendra, how's it going there? Oh, we whip out our mobile phone and it's stealthy. At least we'd offer respect because he's present. When we chant God's name, he's personally present in the sound of form. The form of sound. He's personally present. So this is the process for becoming free from the influence of the modes of material nature. If we don't, what is the result? Urdhvam gachanti sattva. By associating with mode of goodness, urdhvam gachanti sattva. We go up. By mode of ignorance, by mode of passion, we get born again in this world. This middle planetary system on which we presently are living is the mode characterized by mode of passion, where everybody wants to get ahead. They want to be better. They want to be more influential. They want to be special and well posted and well respected in society. Mode of passion. And Jaganya Guni Vrittista Adho Gachanti Tamasa. Mode of ignorance means you go down. People aren't accustomed to think in terms of universal creation. What is the universe we live in? Vedas describe 14 planetary systems. Atala, Sutala, Talatala, Patala, all different planetary systems. This is middle planetary system. You can go up and you can go down by your activity. So mode of goodness activities means we go up. Charity, compassion, love, generosity, all these good qualities of human society guarantee a good, positive birth in our next life. Activities in the mode of passion, which are dictated by the mind, give us a birth in this material world. Middle planetary system, and urdhvam gachanti. Jaganya guni vrittasta adho gachanti tamasa. Tamasic activity gives us birth in animal species of life. That people don't understand. They think it's just some chemicals. Even a mosquito. Is a mosquito a combination of chemicals? Chemicals are flying through the sky, and some chemicals want to bite you and suck your blood. There's life, there's Atma present even in the body of a mosquito. What to speak of other animals, cows, chickens, goats, pigs. They're not for us, they're not for our food. They have a right to live. So if someone lives their life in a tamasic way, eating tamasic food, engage in tamasic activity, you can also go down. You can be obliged to accept the body of an animal. Because what is it? This is wherever we see life, there is soul, there is Atma present. This microphone stand will never talk to you. It's only matter. But even a tree, a very dull form of life, what makes it alive? What makes it grow? What makes it produce flowers and seeds and offspring? Because there is a soul present. A pencil, a wooden pencil, is also wood. Can you plant it in the ground? Will it make more pencils? There's no Atma. But you can cut a portion of a bush or tree and plant it in the ground, and it will begin to grow because there's Atma present. So we're responsible for our activities in this world. And as long as we're under the control of the modes of material nature, then we're dragged by those same modes to be engaged in activities that will not help us at the end of life. Because what is our asset at the end of life? Is it your bank account? Can you show Yamaraj, hey Yamaraj, check it out, right here, Crorepati. What will he say? So sorry, chaliye. Can you show your educational degree? Hey, Yamaraj, check it out right here. MBBA, MBBS, BTech, MTech, B.Pharm. So sorry, chaliye. What is your friend when the last breath comes? As it must. Yeah, I'm 74 years old. So these thoughts occur to me much more often than those of you that are in your 30s or 40s. But what is your asset? Think it over. What is your asset when the last breath comes? When the heart stops beating and you have to leave? Harinam. Big asset. Our relationship with God. And Guru is our only asset. There's a nice story, speaking of relationship with Guru. One of my godbrothers, somehow or other by the force of karma, by aparad, by some reason, he completely fell away from Krishna consciousness. Left every spiritual principle, became a very sinful man. At the time of his death, there was no devotee present. But the nurse described what happened. He sat up in his bed. This is long after Prabhupada had left this world, in the 80s, 85, 90. He sat up in his bed, he looked at the door and said, Srila Prabhupada, you've come for me. He laid back down in his bed and left his body. God and Guru can never forget a person who's done anything for the service of the Lord. Shraddhaya helanam nama ratane mama jantuva tesham nama sadapato hridaye vatate mama. Adi Purana says that the Lord can never forget a person who even once chants His holy name. He says, Vartate hridaye mama, that person's in my heart forever. Lord is so affectionate towards devotee who chants His name. So that benefit is there, but the real benefit of chanting Hare Krishna is that we transcend the influence and the modes of material nature. The last two verses in this chapter. Krishna says, Mam chayo vibicharina bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatitaitan brahma bhuyaya gopate. We become gunatita. Gunatita means we become free from the influence and the modes of material nature. And that's a very special thing. Here the description is very interesting. Because Arjuna asks, what is a symptom of someone who's transcended the modes of material nature? Many people claim spiritual advancement, lip service. Anyone can talk big. I become spiritually advanced. There's symptoms. Like now, gold prices, silver prices are through the roof. Much cheating goes on. But if you want to know what is gold, how do you know? By its symptoms. Not just anything that's yellow and shiny is gold. It has characteristics. So same, someone who's transcended the influence of the modes of material nature is known by symptoms. So Arjuna asked Krishna, what are the symptoms? And Krishna said, O son of Pandu, he who does not hate illumination, attachment and delusion when they are present, or long for them when they disappear, who is unwavering and undisturbed through all these reactions to the material qualities, remaining neutral and transcendental, knowing that the modes alone are active, who is situated in the self and regards alike happiness and distress, who looks upon a lump of earth, a stone, and a piece of gold with an equal eye, who is equal toward desirable and the undesirable, who is steady, situated equally in praise and blame, honor and dishonor, who treats alike both friend and enemy, and who has renounced all material activities, such a person is said to have transcended the modes of material nature. Is that an easy thing? To look at the enemy and a friend is equal? Someone who mistreats you, who criticizes you, who stabs you in the back, can you be equal to that person as you would be to a friend? Can you look alike? Samaloshtasma kanshana. To look at a stone and a piece of gold is the same. Equal in happiness and distress. Fame and infamy. What does it require? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Jitatmana prashantasya paramatma samahita. Sitoshna sakatukeshu tatamana pamaneo. One has to control the mind. Because where does friend and foe live? The conception of friend and foe live. The conception of value live. The conception of happiness and distress, where does that live? It lives in our mind. So Krishna is recommending jitatmana. If one can conquer the mind, then happiness and distress, heat and cold, honor and dishonor, all the dualities of material life are the same. So this is required to free oneself from the influence of modes of material nature. It's largely mental activity. So Krishna is saying, this is the situation, how to come to Brahman platform, spiritual platform, Atma platform, a platform of identifying oneself as an eternal spirit soul, free from the influence of material nature. Not so easy. Krishna says, that is the platform of real Brahman. Brahmanahi pratishtaham amritasya vasyacha, shastratasya dharmasya sukasya kantikasya. Sukasya kantikasya means this is the platform of actual happiness. And is there anyone who doesn't want to be happy in this world? Everyone wants to be happy. It's our nature. It's not wrong to want to be happy because it is our intrinsic nature to seek pleasure, to seek happiness. But the problem is we haven't remembered how to find it, where to look for it, where to find happiness. That happiness is found in our own self. The self is Satchit Ananda Vigraha. That is the nature of the self. There's a story of the musk deer. Musk deer has this exquisitely beautiful scent that comes from a gland in its belly. But he's wandering through the forest, smelling it. Where is this beautiful smell coming from? I have to find. Where is this beautiful smell coming from? He's looking for it. But he doesn't realize it's coming from his own body. So we're looking for happiness, joy, satisfaction, peace of mind. Where does it come from? It's our own nature. It's the nature. Sat Chit Ananda is the nature of the self, the nature of Atma. So how to touch that? Become free from the influence of modes of material nature. And what is the process? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Iti sudashikam nam kalikama sanasanam. Nata parataropaya sarvavedeshu drishyate. If you look through the entire body of Vedic literature, if it were possible to study all four Vedas, Upanishads, Ramayana, Mahabharata, Mahapurana, if it were possible to study through all of that, what will you find as the essence? To chant this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Sodashikam Nam, these 16 names of the Lord, is the most practical, powerful, effective means of self-realization. And there is no other. I don't mean to be completely fanatical, but there is no other means of self-realization in this age. Yoga is helpful. You'll never get prema, love of God, from yoga. In fact, there's a lot of cheating that goes on, especially in ignorant countries like America. They practice yoga in the mall. They open yoga studio in the mall. You read in 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where is yoga practice? Sacred place. On a specific seat that's not too high, not too low, with deerskin, kusha grass, and you sit and you meditate in silence in a sanctified atmosphere, not in the mall. But what happens? They say with a little kurta pajama yoga outfit and a little yoga mat, and they charge you $20 for yoga class, and you go to yoga class with your yoga girlfriend. This is not yoga. The first proposition of yoga is yoga indriya samyama, Control your indriyas, control your senses. The very first step of yoga. But much cheating goes on in this process of yoga. They think I'm a yogi if I can put my ankle behind my neck to see. Can you become self-realized? It's good for health, no doubt. No doubt. But you'll never become self-realized. You'll never leave this material world. So yoga is not the answer. Karma is not the answer. Because what does karma mean? I give something to God and I want something back. Business. Like I watched one man here in our old Punjabi Bug temple. He had 10 rupiah in his hand. He's offering 10 rupiah to Krishna Balaram. Like this, then Radhika Raman, Jagannath, and he takes around his head like this. Then he puts in hundi. And he folds his hands. Oh Bhagwan, I've given you 10 rupiah. Now you please give me 10 crore. This is karma. Karma yoga. I give you, now you give me. There's value in that, certainly. It's thousands of times more beneficial than atheism, godlessness. But it's not the path to conquer the Lord by love. To have a loving means you give someone without any expectation of return. So karma is not the answer. Yoga is not the answer. Jnana, the objective of jnana is to become one with the Lord. This is not helpful. Bhagavatam says, Avroya Krishnena param padam tada padantyado nandrita yushmat angraya. They may rise very high to Brahma Jyoti and they may merge in Brahma Jyoti, but you can't stay. Because that Brahma Jyoti is different from the self. Krishna says, Mavayavam so jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. We're eternally part and parcel of the Lord. You never lose your identity. So you may rise to Brahma Bhuta, Brahma Jyoti, but because they don't take shelter of Krishna's lotus feet, they fall down again into this material world. So jnana is not the answer. Karma is not the answer. Yoga is not. What is the answer? Hare Krishna Mahamantra. In this age, Kriteya Jayato Vishnum, Tretaya Jako Makai, Dhrapare Parichayayam Kalodhan Hari Kirtana. The process of self-realization in this age is Hari Kirtan, chanting the holy name of the Lord. Kaler doshana de rajaneko yastam hadguna kirtananiva krishnasya mukta sangha param bhajet. Bhagavad, the next verse says this. This age of Kali is characterized by all faulty things. Faults in relationships, faults in food, faults in the air we breathe, faults in the water we drink, faults in politics. Wherever we see faulty things everywhere in Kali Yuga. But there's one extraordinary good characteristic of this age of Kali. That is just by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Mukta Sangha Param Vrajet. One is liberated from this material world and it goes back to the kingdom of, what more you want? Besides going back to the kingdom of God. Eternal life. Eternal happiness. People are eating delicious food eternally and there's no hunger. They're just eating. No BP problem. No cholesterol problem. No problem. Eternal life. Yet we've exchanged that life for this life of dukkhalayam ashashvatam. Trouble and temporary life. We want sukhalayam shashvatam life. But what did we have? What did we actually have? Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. We're afflicted with different miseries of life, and it's temporary. We can't stay. So the proposition of Veda is simply vibrate the holy name of the Lord, dedicate part of every day to chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, live your life, but dedicate time for chanting Krishna's name. Perfect your life by chanting Krishna's name. Grihe tako, vane tako, sada hari boli tako, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur said. That whether you stay in the family life, or in business life, or whether you go to the forest as a tyagi, as a sannyasi, brahmachari, doesn't matter. Simply chant the holy name. Atak pumbir dvija sheshta varnashrama vibhagasa sanushthitasya dharmasya sansidir haritoshanam. Srimad Bhagavatam says, sanushthitasya dharmasya means our own swadharma, the life that we've created by our past life. Live that life and add to that life the chanting of Krishna's name. Because anyone who takes shelter of Krishna's name goes back to Godhead. Krishna says in Gita, Mam hi partha vipashatya yepisu papayonaya striyo vaishnastata shudras tepi yanti param gatim. Tepi yanti means anyone who takes shelter of me, tepi yanti, they go back to me. What more we want in life? What more is there? We have to maintain our life, we have to eat, we have to take care of family, take care of all the complexities of life. But this wonderful thing of chanting Krishna's name will deliver us from this world and is our only friend at the time of death. The holy name of Krishna. Even there's a story, I had some god sisters that were traveling and distributing Krishna book. We used to print Krishna book, a big beautiful silver book with the words K-R-S-N-A in red letters across the top. They were involved in a horrendous automobile accident. So this one devotee described how her whole throat was full of blood. She couldn't chant, but in front of her, this vision of K-R-S-N-A, Krishna, book, was right with her at every moment. She lived to tell the story how Krishna came to her in the form of Krishna book. Although she couldn't speak, she couldn't hear much, Krishna came to her in the form of Krishna book. Krishna will never forget a devotee who does even the smallest thing for him. So this is our asset in life. This is the purpose of life, to transcend the negative influence of the modes of material nature that drag us back down again, repeated birth and death. So our business is to chant holy name, we spend time every day with our mobile phone, isn't it? How much time we spend every day mobile phone? In fact, I was watching a clip on my mobile phone about an interview one man did with these young girls, high school girls. He said, okay, how many hours you spend on mobile phone? One girl said, 6. How many hours you spend? Oh, like 8. And they gauge their attractiveness, their self-worth by how many likes they get with what things they post online. If they get a lot of likes, they become prestigious amongst their friends about how many likes they have. Whereas previously, if you were an athlete, if you were a scholar, then you would be popular in school. But now it's about likes. And some people who don't get enough likes, one of their girlfriends said, yeah, one of our friends committed suicide because she didn't get very many likes. She wasn't liked on the internet. So don't waste time. Don't waste time. Chanakya said, Ayusha shana ekopena labhya swarna kotipi. What is the most valuable thing in life? What is that thing that you can't buy with millions of gold coins? What is that thing? Time. You can't buy time with millions of gold coins. So if we spend our time, our most valuable asset in life, hearing about Krishna, chanting his name, as you're all doing, you could be doing hundreds of other things, but you've come here tonight to hear about Krishna. So my pranam to all of you. You've taken interest in Krishna. This is a proper use of our time. And when our time is up, then we'll certainly appreciate the time that we've invested in hearing about Krishna and trying to become free, trying to be a better person, a more Krishna conscious person. And at the end of life, we don't cry, we don't lament, we don't regret. We leave this world with no regrets. We leave this world with no guilt. We leave this world with no fear. But Krishna, I'm ready to go. You take me. Because Krishna is waiting for you. He's waiting for you. Jeev jago, gaura chandra bole, kota nidya jao maya, pisha chira kole. Lord Chaitanya is saying, wake up, spirit soul. How long you sleep in the lap of the witch called Maya? How long? How long you sleep? Krishna is waiting for you. Don't neglect this great opportunity to chant Krishna's name, transcend the influence of modes of material nature, and yagatvani nivartante tadama paramamama. To leave this world, come back to the kingdom of God, and never come back again to this world of janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhi, birth, death, old age, and disease. Anyone has any comment or question? Correction? So you're all chanting Hare Krishna? Regularly? So we say, I'm preaching to the choir. You've heard that saying? In America, the priest, on Sunday, the choir comes and they sing in the service, right? So they come every Sunday. They've heard the priest give his rap, his talk. They've heard it 100 times. So it's preaching to the choir, the singers in the church. So you've heard all these things. So another aspect is that you should teach these things to other people. Teach to other people. Because as we've been benefited, how are we sitting here? How is each and every person in this room sitting here? Because some devotees said, please come to our satsang. Please read this book. Please take this mala. Come see our beautiful Radha Radhika Raman. And because of that person, you're sitting here today. Am I right? Yeah. So you can be that person in someone else's life. This is another aspect to spiritual life, trying to help other people. Trying to help them become Krishna conscious. So think of that. If there's 30 people here, if everyone brings one person, that's 60 people. And we had to build such a big temple just to accommodate, because the previous temple we outgrew the temple. We may outgrow the new temple also. People may have to go up to Rohini to have darshan in Rohini. And no question? Yes, Mataji?
Why was life created, Prabhuji?
Because he wanted it. And life is not created. Life is eternal. Krishna says, Na jayate mriyate va kadachin. We're not born at any time and we don't die at any time. Like when I'm born, my fingernail is born with me. It's part of me. So life is not created because God is not created. But we've created this life. Bhagavatam says, Tateno kampam susamikṣamana bhunjana ivatma kritam vipakam. Ivatma kritam means, I've created this life. Your health, your wealth, your poverty, your disease, your everything we've created by our previous life. There's no other reasonable explanation. Is God playing favorites? Or he likes you and so you become Mukesh Ambani, crorepati, multi crorepati. And someone else becomes a rickshawala. Someone else is powerful athlete. Someone else is crippled. Someone's a genius, someone's a fool. Why? Is God playing favorites? No. We've created our life. So we're not born, we don't die. We have this life by our previous life's activities. If someone understands that, they take to Krishna consciousness because they don't want another material life. Chaktva deham punar janma naiti mamiti. Krishna says, don't be born again. You'll not be born again. You'll come to me, mameti. This is the effect of our spiritual activity. The ultimate objective, of the ultimate achievement in life, to leave this world and go back to God. Is it okay? So don't come back. Be with Krishna. That's why he created. Like why do parents have children? With so much trouble. Kids are trouble, right? And they're expensive, they're troublesome. But when they say, Papa, Mama, I love you. Ah. It's all worth it, right? Ah. Because they touch your heart. Krishna is not a stone, a void, a zero, a light, a nothing. When we say, Krishna, I love you. I want to be with you. I want to serve you. Krishna's, yes, come. No more birth. This is why we're created. You have a question also, sir?
Prabhuji, you said that controlling the mind is the, so the place that where Hare Krishna Nam and Nam Jap can help us control the mind. Is it like, it's like, we, even though they doing the Nam Jap, it's still so difficult, like controlling the mind. Like there constantly there is fear, constantly there is happiness coming. So all these mixed emotions keep coming. So.
But spiritual life means to, everyone understood his question? Get here and back. Spiritual life means to stop identifying the self with the mind. We say, I am angry, I am sleepy, I am hungry, I am envious, I am lusty, I am greedy. No. You are not any of those things. You're Atma, pure spirit soul. Yatma Purusha, Vedas say Atma is aloof from the activities of the mind. But because we identify with the mind, we say, I am angry. You're not angry at all. Your mind is disturbed, and because you identify with material nature, we feel, I am angry. Or let's say if I'm eating a rasgulla. Oh, such delicious, I am eating. Are you eating? Is Atma eating? No, there's some delicious sweet food on part of your tongue registers sweet, part registers bitter, part registers sour. The sweet part of your tongue is going to your brain, I'm eating delicious food, and you're swallowing and digesting. What does that have to do with Atma, with self? Because of our identification with this world, we feel, I am angry. But there's part of you that's never angry. There's part of you that is never influenced by the dualities of material life. This is why Krishna says, Yato yato nischalati manas chanchalamasthiram tatastato neyam yaitat atmaneva vashamnaya. So wherever your mind goes to its flickering and unsteady nature, one should bring it back under control of the self. The self is in control. I am the self, I am the Atma, I'm not part of my mind, I'm not this body. I am a spirit soul. And spirit soul is not impersonal. It's not a light, a void, a zero, a nothing, and just like, Soul is person. Personal. When we touch that, all our material problems are over. But it requires to be able to disassociate oneself with one's mind. When to say, this is what my mind is doing, I am different from my mind. And to disassociate oneself from the activities of the mind. This is jitatmana, we discussed. To conquer the mind. What is the result? Prashantasya, prashantatma, we become peaceful. Because mind is flickering. Chanchalam hemana Krishna pramati balavadidam tasyaham nagraham manye vayar eva sudushka. More difficult to control the wind. But by practice, we become controller of our mind, jitatmana. And we become prashantasya, we become peaceful, happy. Then honor and dishonor. Someone says, oh, such a great soul, so nice, so smart, so intelligent, so good looking, so wealthy, you're so nice. Yeah, tell me more, tell me more. You're so stupid, ugly, useless, fallen. What? You're criticizing me? How dare you criticize me? This is all because of our identification with our mind. We're neither stupid and ugly, nor beautiful and smart. These are all designations of our bodily constitution. And because we identify with the mind, we experience happiness and distress. Mentally. Ananda is something else. Ananda means spiritual happiness, joy that rises from the inside out, not from the mind and senses. So we have to, it's one thing to talk about it, but the only way to actually taste that, to experience it, is by spiritual progress. Therefore we take to this process, this prescription, the prescription of Vedas, is to chant the holy name, to become self-realized, to become detached from this mental self, buddhi, mana, ahankar, the subtle self, and gross self. Gross self is easier. Look, this is a hand. There's flexor tendons, extensor tendons, nerves, blood vessels, cartilage, bone, skin, fat, hair. Is that me? What part of that is me? Nothing of that is you. That's why I say it is my hand. It's not me hand. It is my hand. There's me and there's my mind and there's me. We have to detach ourselves from the mental conception of life. Then we become prasantasya. And this is an exercise we do every day when we chant japa, to bring our mind to Krishna, to be mindful of our relationship with Krishna, to hear Krishna, to remember the beautiful form of Krishna, the power, the mercy, the lila, the associates, the dham, all those things associated with Krishna. Then we feel blissful. Tears come to our eyes, our heart melts, the material desires go away. Who is it? Rupa Goswami prayed, Tunde tandavani ratim bitanute, Tundavadi labdaye, Karna kroda kadambini gatayate, Karna buddhibhya spriham, Cheta prangana sangini vijayate, Sarvendriyanam krite, No jane janita ki adviramitai, Krishne te varnadvai. The meaning is this. Rupa Goswami prayed, when I chant the holy name, I desire millions of mouths. When I hear the holy name of Krishna, I desire millions of ears. And when the holy name enters my ears and dances in the courtyard of my heart, I become fully satisfied and all my senses and anxieties become inert. This is the power of holy name. But we have to practice. You just can't snap your fingers. Okay, from tomorrow, no more mental disturbance. No greed, no lust, no envy, no anxiety. I'm done. Not so easy. Not so easy. You have to practice. Like if I want to learn this harmonium, can I sit down and start playing beautiful music? I have to practice to learn how to do it. We have to practice to learn how to control our mind also. Therefore, Rupa Goswami, Utsahan Nischayat Daryat Tat Karma Pravartana. Daryat means be patient, be enthusiastic, because the goal is within our grasp. Krishna Bhakti is within our grasp in this lifetime. Going back to God is in our grasp in this lifetime. Nischayat means we should be confident it's possible. But Daryat, be patient. Not so easy. TK, thank you all for your kind attention. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai. Shri Radha Radhika Raman ki. Hare Krishna.